It's the weekly show about Pro AV with the hottest news in the AV industry. It's rAVe TV. Give it up for Steph and Gary. Steph and Gary.
Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Gary Kayye and
Steph, Beckett. Hope you guys are having a good Wednesday morning. If it's Wednesday morning for you, if it's Wednesday afternoon, hope that is good also.
Yeah, just a reminder, this is our weekly, in the industry's only weekly live TV show. We come to you streaming on ravepubs.com, on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. I guess we're not supposed to say Twitter anymore, we're supposed to say X. But we come to you live on all these places and YouTube. We used to come to you live at noon, but now we're doing 9 a.m. so that we can hit Europe and the UK at 2 and 3 p.m. there. Of course, we will restream it at noon, so you could be watching this live at noon again, but we kind of cover a little bit about everything that's in the AV industry. We cover a little bit about our products, a little bit about events, a little bit about people, and things that we think you should know about. And, you know, one of the big things that's coming up, Steph, that I know we are both looking forward to and we're already preparing for, already working on, is InfoComm. And this is going to be a big year for InfoComm.
It's going to be a really big year for InfoComm. I think that, Gary, you and I have talked about how big ISE's attendance was this year. And ISE is always a really good temperature taker, even though that's in Europe and obviously InfoComm is in America. Yeah. I think that one is always like going to kind of showcase what the other one is going to do. So a lot of people came out to ISE this year. I think it was 60-something thousand.
Yeah, like 61,000. Yep.
And so I think that, you know, that just goes to show, I think that InfoComm will also, probably not have that many, but I think InfoComm could definitely have about 50,000 this year.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a big year for them. I mean, everyone's excited about the show. Everyone is, you know, pumped up about the industry right now. Things are going well. And we actually have a free code. We'll put that graphic up again. We have a free code. If you use our code rAVe, then you get a free t-shirt. All you have to do is come by our booth, and that invitation there kind of gives you a hint as to what our theme will be at this year's show. We're going to be giving away a lot of these things, themed things at this year's show. We're excited about. We'll announce our theme in the coming weeks, but we definitely want you to use it. And by the way, our producer Carrie mentioned earlier before we went online to remind everyone that we actually have, by the way, the code to use is rAVe. I figured you'd figure that out. But we actually have a few of my rants and raves that I've done and Steph have done with some of the team at Avixa, as well as some of the presenters. So what we're doing is we're gonna record about 10 or so video casts with them, talking about specific educational sessions that we think and they think, Avixa thinks, that you should attend. Yesterday, for example, Steph, I don't know if this one's up yet, but it'll come up later this week. Michelle Montezero from La Grande AV joined me, and we talked about 3 different sessions that she's hosting, or part of, I should say, on digital signage. And digital signage is a big part of InfoComm. It has become, it's not just a segment of AV, it's become its own thing. And InfoComm has basically given it its own attention with their own conference and section in the show. So if you want to see our InfoComm coverage evolve in real time, all you have to do is go to ravepubs.com/InfoComm, and you'll see all the stuff we did last year. There's probably a few thousand videos up there because it's got a couple of years worth of coverage on there, but also you'll see our news coverage, which every day there's new news stories dropping in and around InfoComm. All of it is there at ravepubs.com/InfoComm.
Exactly. And so they've got a couple of new things this year. Obviously, the esports pavilion is coming back, and that's a really big deal. I think that'll only be a bigger deal. We're only seeing more and more esports stories come across mine and Gary's desks. So I think that we're only going to continue to see esports become a bigger part of AV. But there's also going to be some digital signage, like special content, special sections at InfoComm. So they're going to really spend a lot of time thinking about how and showcasing how digital signage plays a part in AV. There's going to be a digital signage program. There's going to be some training courses. It will include some stuff from Avixa's D-Sign conference. There's going to be workshops, networking events that have to do with digital signage, and there's going to be a digital signage focused show floor tour. So if that's something that you are interested in.
And a mixer.
Oh, and a
And
mixer.
so, yeah,
Sorry,
if you want to go
mixer.
to that, all that is on our website now. Steph wrote up a great story about that says it's entitled or titled InfoComm 2024 will dive into digital science trends and tech. You can read all about that. Remember, everything that we talk about, you can scan that QR code and it'll take you directly to a bunch of links that has everything that we will talk about today. For if you're new to rAVe TV, that's how it works. Use your phone, scan the QR code that takes you to everything. Or if you're watching us on any of the social feeds, we're dropping the links in as we talk about things. Speaking of Avixa, they announced a new show that's going to be it's going to be in Mexico City every year. And it's aimed at all of Latin America. It's basically the second Latin American show that they're launching. It's called InfoComm America Latina. And it'll be at Mexico City and just adding to the cache of InfoComm around the world. And one of the sponsors of rAVe TV, which we are indebted to, is rAVe. And rAVe recently announced the TR315 and TR335, a pair of pro grade pan, tilt, and zoom cameras, PTZ cameras featuring AI auto tracking, auto framing, also 4K resolution, 12 times or 30 times optical zoom. So not digital zoom, but optical zooms. Those are perfect for classrooms, large lecture halls, even corporate production because of the resolution of those. So you can learn more about those by scanning that QR code. And I think we actually have, do we have a video on this, Steph?
Yeah, we have a video where I went and checked these out at Enterprise Connect, so y'all can kind of see them as I saw them. So we're going to show that really quick too.
Excellent.
Hey everyone, welcome to rAVe booth at Enterprise Connect, and welcome. And we're going to show you the demo of our MT300 solution. That's a multi-camera switching solution for intelligent meeting space that provides kind of an inclusive environment for all the participants. We are also showcasing our two brand new cameras, the TR315 and TR335 in black.
Yeah.
We're going to be launching them in the month of April.
Are you going to flip through
please
this?
keep an eye out for it. And we're going to be doing
we're sitting here talking to each other
as well.
And we're back live, Steph. So we started something new
switching solution MT300. This is the solution we introduced earlier last year. What it does is it gives you up to 7 cameras.
The video is playing while we're talking. Okay, so
switches
we're actually
between different
playing on top of that. So let's stop
speakers
the
in the space.
Let's go into our next story there. We are live, so therefore we have glitches like this every once in a while. We have started a new monthly feature in our newsletter that focuses on everything going on inside of Microsoft Teams. And I think that's really important. Steph is managing this. I think this is really important because when we looked at the data, we've seen a sea change in the preferred platform for our integration channel and for our users moving from Zoom to Teams. So we felt like it was important for us to keep you up to date on all the new features and functions and even what's coming, because we're going to be able to tell you what's coming. So Steph, talk about this new section in our is it what publications are going to be in? How can they find it? That kind of stuff.
So you can find it, of course, by going to ravepubs.com, but it's also going to be featured in a UCC newsletter, email newsletter every month, and also in a rAVe newsletter every month. And you can subscribe to our email newsletters if you go to ravepubs.com. It's up at the top right. There's a big subscribe button, and you can pick any and all of the publications you want to subscribe to. But yeah, I can talk a little bit about some of the new updates from Teams, because that's kind of what the whole article's feature is. They don't send out a ton of press releases. That's just kind of their company policy. But they were like, yeah, but if you guys want to share all of the news in one spot, we'd love that. So they gave me this deck, and it's also featured in the article. So there's a ton of slides. I'm not going over all 70 of these. But if you want to go through them yourself, you can go to the story. They're embedded there. So one of the biggest things, they were obviously at Enterprise Connect, and they announced a ton of stuff. They have new stuff in Microsoft Teams calling, Microsoft Teams meetings, and rooms and services. And some of the big Enterprise Connect announcements, this is all of them. They went crazy.
Well, they don't have to read
enterprise
this
thing.
detail. They can actually read your
No.
article because you do a
They can
great
read the
job
article.
summarizing it. Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of, there's like new voice isolation stuff for Microsoft Teams phone. There's so much. So I kind of just take all of these 70 slides.
I'm flipping through them for you, Steph. Just kind
thank
of
you.
to give you an idea.
I took some of like the most important or most like AV relevant parts of these 70 slides and I put them in the story. So even if you don't want to read through this whole thing, I picked out the most important and relevant things for you. So you can go read that at ravepubs.com.
And that's going to be a monthly feature. It's called Microsoft Teams Tracker, MS Teams Tracker. So we're going to keep you up to date on all the new features. One of the coolest features getting ready to come out that I'm most excited about, it's going to drop any day now, is they're upping the resolution of the wrapper for Teams to 5K resolution, which everyone's been waiting for and excited about. So that's kind of cool. All that stuff is outlined there in that article. So you can check that out at rAVe Pubs, and you can always find it by just going to MS Tracker. And eventually we'll probably put a section on our website to make it a little easier to find. But right now we only have one article. It's a brand new feature. And we'll kind of keep you up that way. But so talk about the Paul Konikowski's feature, Steph, because I think that's kind of interesting.
So this is with Microsoft Exchange, which a lot of us in many industries use as our kind of place to keep files, place to keep emails, all sorts of things. The government also apparently uses it too. And Paul Konikowski writes about different cybersecurity breaches that have gone on or cybersecurity things that are useful to people in our industry to know. So his most recent article talks about how a Chinese hacking group compromised Microsoft's cloud, and they breached hundreds of thousands of emails, including email accounts of US government officials, and breached those in the summer of 2023. And there's now a recent report by the Cybersecurity Review Board that just came out. So that's why he decided to write about this now. But basically, like, the board was like, this was totally preventable. This should have never like occurred. We need to fix the security here. So they kind of talk about the steps that everyone should have taken to make sure that these did not get out. And it just kind of goes to show security is very important. And you should never, like, as users, we should never skip steps in terms of like two-factor authentication and other things to keep our data safe and secure, but also the companies that where we keep our files also have a due diligence that they need to work on as well. So
we have
go ahead and read that.
We have a new security newsletter, by the way. As Steph said, you can subscribe to all of our newsletters at ravepubs.com. We actually have one that focuses on security. It's both physical and cybersecurity. Exactly. Another one of our partners is Legrand, and we actually shot a video at ISC 2024 of their Tempo wall mount system, which is brand new, which has an in-wall system behind it that makes it makes the monitors flatter against the wall for digital signage and for presentation applications. Let's run this video. I think we're going to stay on the screen as this video is running.
No, we'll go away.
Hey, good afternoon. I'm Tom van Rijswijk. I'm the product manager for Middle Atlantic and Chief, and I would like to welcome you on the rAVe booth at ISE 2024. The product I want to show to you today is the new Chief Tempo wall mount system. The special thing about this product is that you order one SKU only and you get a full set of products. So you will get the frame, 2 proximity plates to store your devices behind the display, and the extender so you can just extend the display from the wall and access your devices easily. It comes with optional soundbar mounts and camera mounts, and there is also a 10-inch PDU that fits perfectly into the side with European Schuko plugs and French plugs as well. And with the blue forward clamps, you can easily clamp the devices behind the display, and you can remove the plates, bring it to the office, change the devices there, and come back to the customer and hang it back again. Oh, if you want to know more about this product, please go to our website. It's legrandave.com.
Okay, so CEDIA Expo 2024 registration is officially open for the show in Denver. CEDIA Expo is a really fun show to go to. I love going to this show every year. It used to be all home AV technology, but now they have a second show that is co-located with them, and that's Commercial Integrator Expo. So they have some light commercial, they have some home AV, they've got a little bit of everything. So registration is now open, and I hope you guys will all register and come. The dates I think are September 5th through 7th, 2024 at the Colorado Convention Center in Denver. And we're going, and it's going to be a great show.
All right. So yesterday, Shure and Neat introduced an interesting partnership. Yeah, as you know, most of Shure's competitors have come out with the video bar stuff. Well, Shure decided not to come out with the video bar, obviously, and partner with some of the companies that have video bars. One of those, obviously, is Neat, where they have a full integration between the two companies, sort of like a plug and play integration to build better rooms, make it more seamless to install. You can read all about that on our website at ravepubs.com. Shure is obviously focusing on the audio stuff. Neat is focusing on the video and room AI stuff. And together, using the audio, they can make the camera follow you better and do some kind of neat things with it. So check it out. And speaking of Shure, they are also a sponsor of rAVe TV. We come to you live every Wednesday because of companies like Legrand, AV, Aver, and Shure. And they have a great video explaining how they are helping people work together and have better experiences. So check this out.
Okay, back to a few more news stories that we thought were relevant and wanted to share with you guys. So first one, Sony came out with a non-glare 98-inch Bravia display. And this is the BZ53L. This is aimed at your corporate, your education, your retail, anywhere where you probably have a ton of windows and need a display in that space as well. But the problem with putting a display in a place with a lot of windows, it's usually going to have a glare on it. But this has Sony's deep black non-glare coating. But they have other options as well in terms of size. They have 55, 65, 75, and 85. The 98 is just brand new and the biggest one. So
and if anyone is listening from Sony, I need the 98-inch non-glare because my room where my TV has lots of windows and it's really bugging the heck out of me. So my address is okay. Anyway, another story that came out yesterday was E-Ink. The company that produces the technology behind e-paper has signed an agreement with AO, which is a display manufacturer, large format display manufacturer, to help E-Ink build better and larger, this is the most important part, e-paper displays. So we could see e-paper displays that are eventually the size of billboards. And I think that would be interesting. That brings that manufacturing capability into more of a mass production potentially. So we'll see where that ultimately takes us. I think that we'll probably learn more about that at InfoComm. And I want to congratulate rAVe on finally getting 3 patents on microphone mist technology, which is the technology they use to basically have virtual microphones that fill a room, so that when you walk around a room, you can pick up the audio from anywhere, and it can discern the difference between voices, people speaking, and other noises. And they received 3 patents on that. I'm kind of interested with regard to that, is how that might affect some of the other companies that have used similar technologies, Steph, and maybe they might end up having to pay licensing fees to rAVe because they got granted the patent. That story is on our website. If you're interested about that, you can check that out on our website. And what about this new view wall touch panel? What do you think about that,
Yeah,
Steph?
this touch panel it's like super secure, right? So this is for command and control rooms.
Yep.
And this is called the PoE Control View Touch Panel. This is specifically for that type of government control room, high security environment. So this is going to give you the ability to manage your visuals on your video walls and your displays in your control room directly from this 10-inch tablet. So
yeah, using the view wall system. So what's nice about that is you don't have to use a third-party control system, plugs straight into the view wall system, and it gives you full control for, an all-in-one solution. And the reason why they say it's secure is because you're not opening any APIs for any third-party control system.
Yeah, and it's completely over Ethernet. So
yeah, so it's all network. Yep.
Yeah.
So anyway, we have a case study, right? The
we
loud
do.
and clear with Kayye at the Emblem.
Yeah, I feel like I cover a lot of case studies that are like about a concert or about like an artist's tour, and this one was a little bit different. So this is Kayye, and this is at the European Molecular Biology Laboratory. And so they, like, you would never think like, oh, do they need good audio in there? But they actually did. So Kayye went in there and they needed a completely, crazy innovative audio installation. And so they brought in a specialist, a special integrator to do all of that. And so they kind of gave it, like, I would say, like museum-like audio.
And they have 27 speakers in that system. So it's kind of interesting to learn how they did it. Instead of using large speakers, they use very small ones, more distributed audio in there. And that way you don't have to yell over the audio to be heard. So that story is on our website at ravepubs.com. And we got some stuff coming up for you.
We do.
Yeah, we got some stuff that we want you to sign up for and want you to be aware of. First off, Replay ISE West. You did that
yesterday. It was good. It was very good. It's always fun, like, getting to kind of step into that security mindset a little bit more. You and I spend pretty much all of our time thinking about Pro AV and Home AV products. So kind of taking a step back and looking at these products from a different angle was kind of cool. So if you would like to do the same, it's about 30 minutes. You can go check it out at launchlavnch.com.
And we have some other launch events coming up as well, right?
Yeah, we got a ton of them. So really, if you're interested in anything, we probably have an event for you. So this is the next one coming up is Elevating AV Integration, Embracing Advanced Discussion Microphones in Diverse Environments. So Gary, what is this going to be about? You were hosting this one.
Yeah, so Televic is a company that does, so when you have like the, big conferences where everyone has a microphone in front of them, Steph, and they have to press a button when they want to talk. You've probably seen this whenever they show any like these government hearings and things like that, right? What they end up doing is having a physical mic in front of everybody instead of attaching a lavalier on them, and then they press a button and when they want to talk, and then they get called on by the person who's the head of the Senate or the meeting that they're at. Televic's one of the companies that provides that type of microphone system. And what's interesting about that is some cases you have 2 microphones sitting right next to each other because 2 people are sitting right, and you don't get any interference, and they each have their own isolation. It's kind of hard to do, when you have and by the way, that device has a lot of times have a mic and a speaker built into it, right? And, and it also have simultaneous translation going on at the same time. If you've ever seen the UN meeting, that's the kind of thing that we're talking about here, where everybody has a mic and you're talking about hundreds of microphones in there for a large conference application. Maybe it's being recorded, maybe it's being translated. Well, that's what it's going to be about. So if you're doing these kinds of systems, the kind of companies that would do these kind of systems are companies right now, they're doing like courtrooms, and then all of a sudden they're amping up and doing larger dedicated solutions like this, or companies that are doing conference centers, and all of a sudden they have an ad hoc meeting like this. Sometimes they're permanently installed. Sometimes it's a rental application. So this is approved for one CTS, CTSI, and CTSD. It's on May 1st at 1 p.m. May 1st at 1 p.m. And it's going to be a great, I'm excited about this because I'm going to learn a lot about it too. I've always been sort of enamored with Televic as a company. They also make other stuff too. They have lecterns and things like that. But this is going to be, since COVID, everyone knows how to use a mic now. Everyone has a mic. Everyone knows how to use their camera. But people want to amp it up a little bit. And so this is technically called Elevating AV Integration, but embracing advanced discussion microphones in diverse environments. Because sometimes the room that you're putting it in isn't made for that, right? It's a ballroom that you've converted into a meeting. So that's May 1st at 1 p.m. You can sign up by scanning that QR code or going to launch. Always, for all of our events, you can always go to launch.com, lavnch.com. And then after that, go ahead.
Sorry. I was just going to say, they're a really cool company, Televic, because I remember I was interviewing them about something. And I was like, how did COVID affect you guys? Because we're bringing people back into these big boardrooms, right? But everyone now has plexiglass stalls.
Back then.
I was like, that affects the audio, does it not? And he was like, yes. But they actually managed to still make their microphones and the speakers still sound good. So definitely go and listen to them. They're so cool.
And I think it's a company that you're going to, if you're not already a dealer for, you're going to want to become a dealer for. And then we have the Hospitality Symposium coming up. That is on May 15th. So 15 days later, May 15th at 1 p.m. Hospitality includes hotels, right? But it also even includes, we don't think about this very often, but healthcare too, right? I mean, hospitality, those are still customers. And the technology used for event spaces, when you do ballrooms and converting them into party rooms and converting them also into classrooms, the technology used to greet people when they walk into hotels, but also in the rooms, the hotel rooms, they want to stream to the television. How to, what are the best ways to do that? What products exist, who some of the companies are and what they're doing. And all of this will be covered. This is one of our sponsors of this session is Exertis Alma, who handles all the big hospitality brands, PPDS, LG, Samsung, and others. And that is going to be on the 15th, May 15th at 1 p.m. We have applied for CTS certification on that, but so it's pending. So we can't tell you yet if we have that. We'll eventually probably get it because it's a great educational session. And then I don't know if I want to call it Launch Week X or Launch Week 10, Steph. You and I should debate this right now because I know you want to call it X, right?
We'll call it whatever. Okay.
I think it should be just 10, but I see it on my screen as Launch Week X. Launch Week X is coming up on October 21st through the 24th. And we're going to have a UCC day, a home AV day, pro AV day, and we'll do some other stuff too. We haven't even put the whole thing together yet. And we'll see what.
And EdTech Day.
EdTech Day is the other one. So then that's 4 days, the 21st to the 24th. It seems like a long time away, but it's going to be here quicker than you know. And looks like the graphics had the big X there. So we can say 10 or X, I guess we can.
It's kind of like the iPhone when the iPhone 10 came out, but it was an X, but we called it the 10. It's kind of like the same vibe. So
there you go.
Yeah,
we're like
you
Apple.
guys come. We also applied for CTS RUs for this too.
We'll get them.
We haven't gotten them yet. We usually get approved for 10 for the whole week, 2.5 per day.
Yeah, we'll get them. And the idea is for you to go ahead and sign up now. Tell your friends about it. Get your space. We also do giveaways during launch week. If you participate in the polls, we give away Amazon gift cards and other things. We'll be talking about it more, but we just want to at least let you know when it is. We try to keep it away from any industry events. October 21st to the 24th is a great time to do it. And so that's our show for today. We will restream this at noon for those of you who kind of want to watch this in real time. But remember that we have shifted the time weekly to 9 a.m. Eastern time, which is 2 p.m. in the UK, 3 p.m. in the rest of Europe, and 6 a.m. in California, which means nobody's watching us in California yet. But hopefully they'll watch us again at 9 a.m. Steph, what do you think?
Yeah. Yes, I hope so.
I hope so.
So, all right. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you have a great Wednesday, whenever of the time of day that you are watching. So we'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
It's the weekly show about Pro AV with with the hottest news in the AV industry. It's rAVe TV. Give it up for Steph and Gary. Steph and Gary.